Alright. What's going on, YouTube? And welcome to Royal Talk with King Gabe and
Queen Tina. Yeah, sorry, I got a little excited there because this is our first show. Sorry about that.
Yep, and apparently our first show is The Godforsaken Cat in the Hat.
The one movie that some people regret seeing. It is so bad that Dr. Seuss's widow refused to see any more live-action Cat in the Hat movies being made. That they should just stick with animation.
I could probably see the tears in her and Bo Welch's eyes. Her husband turning in the grave.
Well, he's rolling in his grave out of embarrassment, as well as shame. And maybe anger.
Well, I know one thing, and also, any of y'all that's seen the old channel, when it did the Brownny Reactions and stuff like that, that was the ultimate torture that Brownny suffered. I think he got more of the torture than any critic I've seen have to deal with this movie. There's nobody should have to. Oh boy. So where do we begin here? Where do we begin?
How about the set design? I give Bo Welch credit for the set design. It looks more colorful, as well as more beautiful and brighter than the set design in the live action Cat in the Hat, where it's all bland. And sort of in a grayscale kind of type.
Talk about with the Grinch movie.
Yeah, the live action Grinch back in the early 2000s. Like they needed some more color, more brightness.
Yeah, I think one critic mentioned a joke about the it looked like someone rubbed Vaseline on the camera lens. Now, and surprisingly, granted, that movie is now the live action Grinch movie is completely flawed as well. But granted, you can actually look at it. You can at least get a guilty pleasure of it, sort of like Christmas with the Cranks.
It also have charm to it,
Yeah,
especially Jim Carrey's performance. Like he is definitely he's prepared for that role.
Yeah, they had say he took a lot of meditation, zen, and stuff like that to move in that Grinch kind of like, I am the Grinch. I am the Grinch. I'm the Grinch.
Not only that, but he also put his heart into it, and he also interacted with everybody, and got along with everybody pretty well in the movie. Not
the case with this movie. It's really bad when the character, when you're playing a character like the Grinch that's supposed to be antisocial and grumpy and stuff, and that's the character that's more likable than our supposed Dr. Seuss mascot that's supposed to be bright, cheerful, and everybody's supposed to love him. The Grinch is is the more popular one.
Well, in the live action universe, he is.
Funny thing, I actually saw the live action Grinch, then the live action Cat in the Hat. I actually, and please don't nobody try to make this a movie. I actually imagine that Batman vs Superman style with Jim Carrey Grinch versus Mike Myers Cat in the Hat. Mike Myers Cat in the Hat is like Superman flying through the sky, and his the mother of all messes is going everywhere, causing the collateral damage that Henry Cavill's Superman caused with Zod. And the Grinch is like Bruce Wayne Batman running through the town. And he comes up to Cindy like, oh, we're gonna get you safely. Where's your mother?
Grinch would be angry at the Cat in the Hat. Like, he would say,
Yep.
you'll pay for this.
Yeah, he would hold Cynthia like the way Bruce did. But like I said, don't try to make a movie out of that.
Especially live action.
Yeah, I got that. Oh boy, that would be terrible. So now let's get Cat in the Hat. Apparently, yeah, like you just said, that's I never really stopped to think about this the first time I watched this, but yeah, when it was brought to my attention about how Bo Welch, this was actually his first time as a director of, like, you know, actors and stuff like that, because he was better known for being a set director,
A set designer.
yeah. So he he did movies like Men in Black, for example,
Which I didn't know about.
and so this explains why. And you saw a lot of the stuff in Men in Black. I mean, you had the aliens; they were looking on top notch, and the set for that, the MIB headquarters was looking good. So for Cat in the Hat, he actually had this open up. You would actually think that you're going to go into another Dr. Seuss film that looks exactly like his book. I mean, the houses are set up somewhat like what you would see in the book. Have the colorful sky and everything.
The way the setting it looked like it's set in the springtime.
Yep, and it does rain like it does in the beginning of the book, but you know, since they have to pad things out, they do give you a pretty opening before it starts to rain, before the cat shows up. So, but yeah, but it's actually pretty beautiful, and then of course you get to know the characters.
And some of the characters are not even in the original book. Like Mr. Humberfloof, for example, who's supposed to be the mom's boss.
Which that wouldn't be a bad thing, you know, for adaptation and all that, if they didn't butcher that up there with making them unlikable as the cat. Like, fire! Like, jeez, man, calm down. This guy, I probably be in the unemployment line if this guy was running things at Kroger.
And he also had serious OCD.
That's why I'd be unemployed right now, because one. Not saying that I don't keep myself clean and everything, but yeah, this one guy just goes up to shake his hand, and suddenly he's fired.
Imagine Mr. Humberfloof in this day and age. I know he would be really terrified with the germs everywhere, all over town. He really needs like several bottles of hand sanitizers as well as soap.
No, forget
to
that.
clean his hands.
He'd be probably walking around the city with a hazmat suit everywhere he go. With what's going on, he'd be like those guys on that train there that were in hazmat suits years ago. Yeah.
Not only that, but he might just keep it on 24/7. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, sort of like another example, like Buster did in an episode of Arthur when he was afraid of germs there. Oh boy. So you have that guy. The kids. Okay, so I get that they're trying to give the kids some personality, you know,
as well as character.
Right, because there was, I guess you could say there's a little character in the original book and the cartoon off of it, but the thing was, the whole story was more focused with their interaction with the cat, so you never really saw much with them before the cat showed up, because the story went right into the cat. So, okay, fair enough. Let's get to know how these kids would be, sort of like the way they did with Cindy and the Grinch. You know, even in the Jim Carrey movie, they gave Cindy an arc which really played well with the Grinch's story, and they meshed the two together. So you really followed them up, and mostly that was because that movie followed, because the Grinch was the main star, and the only other character that got a big notice in the original story of that was Cindy. So now they're gonna review the Grinch more so than a cat. Well, that's a better movie. So with the kids in this movie,
Yeah.
oh boy, they make the girl a control freak and the boy a troublemaker, and it's not even in a fun way. Like, it's just he just does stuff. It's almost like the Joker in Dark Knight, but really bad. Because whereas the Joker has some kind of method to his monarchy and chaos, I just do things. The boy is when you first see him causing trouble now, it doesn't seem like, why is he doing it? Oh, because his mother's divorced, and there's this jerky boyfriend by Alec Baldwin that's coming in. Okay, okay, that's another thing. Get to that in a second about the boyfriend, but yeah, that. And then with the girl, okay, being a control freak, but why? But she is so. But the way she's directed is so bland. Yeah, we got not trying to say that. I mean, the kids, we're not trying to harp on their performance, but their direction was not the people directing them and telling them what they needed to do. They didn't do such a good job with that. In another movie, the kids probably would have got better direction there.
Not only that, the girl seemed like she sounded more like a mom than just a kid, because she schedules the stuff she do with her PDA, like coloring and all of that with her PDA, and proves to show you that she is a definite control freak. And the boy, well, he just do stuff at random, even other stuff that boys don't normally do, like stuffing bread under his pants.
Yeah, that bread's gone. I'm pretty sure when they rehearsed, they probably did not do the bread thing. They only had him do the bread thing when they got ready to start filming for the actual movies. Sort of like Film Brain and Suburban Nights when he had to squeeze that cup of coffee.
If my kid did this, well, I know he'll be severely punished. Plus, he owe us some bread with his own allowance.
Well, I guess that means, yeah. Which technically, that would mean he wouldn't get no allowance until the bread is refurnished.
Yes, that's what he's gonna spend his allowance on, just bread.
Oh boy, that be sort of like the paycheck deduction. So, yeah, but the thing, and then the way they're directed to even do that is just, again, like I mentioned, just real bland. With doing it. I just like to say, this is all Sally's fault. I told him not to do it, Mommy, but he went on and did it anyway.
It would have been better if they hired actual elementary schoolers like you've seen in the book. The kids in the book look like they're around 7 or 8 years old, but in the live action movie they look like they're anywhere between the ages of 10 to 12, 10 to 13, maybe 10 to 13.
Well, Kat did.
That's for elementary school.
Well, Kat did mention that about the boy when in the driving scene, like, let the 12-year-old drive.
Yeah.
Which is where that inserted joke of Batman and Damien was like, I'll drive. No, but I know how. No. Yeah. So. Yeah. However, regardless of the age, yeah, if if you're poorly directing your especially your child actors, it's not gonna make a bit of a difference if you're poorly directing them because that's what you gotta have a good sense of direction, and that's how the kids will learn and develop into good actors. Like, Macaulay and like kids from Home Alone and Matilda and stuff like that.
And they had fun on the set.
Mm. Yeah, I'm not completely sure the kids had fun. I think probably what little fun they probably did have was when the cat wasn't there. And then when the cat was there, they probably was scared of that thing for real. I don't think they were acting when they first saw a monster. Where? Ah!
I think that as adults, they don't want to put that film in their resumes or tell their own kids about the film they were in when they were kids. That they just want to forget about it.
Almost like Huey trying to hide away the Duke of making a mess in DuckTales. So let's get. Oh boy, we're not even at the cat yet. Let's get to Alec Baldwin. Oh my God.
Another character that was in the book, Mr. Quinn.
Which wouldn't be a bad thing if they had wrote this better. So apparently the boy doesn't like the fact of Alec Baldwin. I'm just gonna call him that because he's pretty much just an evil Alec Baldwin.
It's like he's just playing himself.
Yeah. And this guy was Mr. Conductor and narrated Thomas the Tank Engine after the movie.
But in this film, they made him a total jerk.
How do you go from being the magical hero of Sodar to this?
I guess he has bills to pay. That's why he was in this film, because he had a lot of bills to pay as well as a higher mortgage.
That must have been some major debt to say yes to this.
He must have been desperate at the time.
Either that, or he probably didn't. He probably thought that maybe this would be a little better than what it turned out to be. But yeah, but then there's the script, Alec. You have to consider the script.
He could have said no anytime, but he really needed the money badly.
Well, apparently, out of desperation, he has to play the jerky boyfriend, which really for adding this element in for the sake of so the boy is already a troublemaker.
Yes.
And it seems to be established that he's acting out due to, like I said earlier, divorced mom, and apparently he doesn't like the fact that she's dating. So first thing I kind of get from this is that maybe, he probably misses his dad, or maybe something happened with the dad and he's upset about that. Sort of like, in one of the episodes of Fresh Prince when Will was upset about his mom dating, or Uncle Phil was upset about his mother dating. They both, especially more so Uncle Phil's case, he missed his dad because the dad had passed away after season 1 of Fresh Prince. So maybe why not even if you don't come out and say that, why not, as Brownny stated, show some brief moment of the boy looking at the picture of his father, and the audience can, something must have happened to Dad.
Or a backstory.
Right. And even just him looking at the picture. I mean, how, there's some things, you can just put in and the audience can put 2 and 2 together. Just that brief moment can help a little bit. And maybe the boyfriend is not, let's not make the boyfriend a jerk. Maybe make the boyfriend actually trying to be understanding to the son, but the reason he's pushing him away because, daddy, I want my original dad.
It can also happen vice versa with the daughter and the father, and the daughter misses her mom, and the dad started dating again.
I think that the sort of relatable with Jerry from Tamers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna add stuff to, kind of give us a little plot. Do something smart, movie, like that. Cause see, then we would understand why. By the way, the boy's name Conway. Connor.
And the girl's name is Sally.
Sally and Connor. We would understand why Connor is, behaving the way he is. And obviously, Sally's being the control freak because he acts out of control. So then, and then when your movie progresses to the cat's part, they could kind of have a bit of a journey through, the mayhem is through, the stuff that they go through with the cat. And, at the end of the movie, maybe I shouldn't have been that way, or, but no, I know Bo Welch was set the time. So I'm pretty sure there was some people working with him to put the story part of the movie together, being his first time. So yeah, this indicates that apparently the people working with him may not have really been the best as far as helping to put the story together, because the set design is good, but yeah, it's like, okay, so can y'all help me with the story? And they don't give him a good one.
And there was a scene of the mom and the son sort of snapped at each other, which I find it out of context.
Yeah, like we know that there are moments when a parent will get a little upset with the kid. It's something that happens, but there's always the. You remember King Triton in The Little Mermaid?
Yes.
He said when he was fussing at Ariel about the humans there, his anger was out of the whole thing of, the humans could possibly hurt my daughter, and I gotta keep her away from them, which is why he was so angry and everything. But notice that after venting out his anger, Sebastian, you think I may have been too hard on her? Or even like the scene where he was blasting Ariel's whole collection there, because that statue of Eric just really set him off. And then...
And he felt bad.
Yeah.
And Ariel just broke down.
But apparently we don't seem to get... But apparently, yeah, that... Now see, there, it meant sense. Yeah, it meant more there. But here, it just sort of happens there.
I bet deep down inside, Connor felt like he wanted to cry a bit after what happened, and the mom tried to apologize, almost tried to apologize, but she just had to leave. But she thought about apologizing, but just didn't get a chance to.
Mr. Humberflew was waiting on the job there. Can you come to the office right now? Thank you. Bye-bye.
I know if it was me, I would have apologized.
You know the old saying, better late than never.
Yeah.
That would be worth being a little late to work for, because hey, I want to make sure my child isn't scarred.
Perhaps when children get scarred for life, because even when they get to adults, they don't want to visit their parents until they die.
Yeah, we definitely don't. Like that boy, like the guy from Home Alone.
Yeah.
Had that issue. Oh boy. Oh boy. So, speaking of scarring, And brief moment, they have a racial stereotype of what looks like a female Mr. Magoo. And
she's also fat.
And they watch a TV thing
about the Taiwanese parliament. Which they could have just left as, they should just take out the Asian stereotype and focus more on the kids and the cat.
Yeah, or
that's
even
what we're waiting for.
Or better yet, take out the parliament thing and just, a regularly dressed babysitter, and just, she falls asleep and that's where the cat comes in. But we have to have that, and also, as you just stated, sheesh, a joke I've heard on some of the some videos. Fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine they hired an African American as the babysitter. I know it'll bring more controversy.
Chances are, a black lady probably would have turned this down.
So they would say no, especially after looking at the script.
But yeah, because there's a part in the script where the cat puts a hanger in my shirt and hangs me in the closet.
Ooh.
Say what? They probably turned like how MC Honey did when Draken told her to sing about his shampoo. Lather, rinse, and obey? I don't think so.
Don't get me started when they put her on top of the crate of the mother of all messes while sleeping.
There was a thing that was said when was said during the reaction. That lady is dead.
In real life.
If it was real life, the stuff that he was doing to her, she's dead.
Yeah, which I find it cruel.
Well, this movie was cruel.
Yeah.
And cruel to watch. So now we finally get to the major cruelty and scarring of the movie. So, how in the book and in the cartoon, the cat, I am a cat. I place my feet on the mat.
He enters from the front door, but in the live action version, he came from the closet. He came in from the closet. We don't know how he got in the closet.
Apparently somebody, even though this was years before this movie came out, but apparently Cat in the Hat foretold the future of paranormal activity. Yeah. What was that? Mika, you hear that? Mika? A monster? Where? Ah!
The way the Cat in the Hat looks, he looks like a cardboard cutout, and it's starting to make Ronald McDonald more scary.
And he's not even trying to. Or better yet, a better example. I think he makes him look scarier than Pennywise.
Oh.
It.
Oh, Pennywise.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's starting to make it look good.
And he's just even crazier than the Joker, apparently. And they call me crazy.
The way Mike Myers looked in the Cat in the Hat costume looked like he's restrained inside the costume, that he just want to get out of this costume. And in some scenes he looked like he had a hard time breathing.
Maybe that's why he was sounding the way he did.
At times when he's trying to smile, he looks like something's hurting him on the inside. The way his facial expression looks like something is hurting him.
Probably is. So probably both the costume and his acting.
I bet the obnoxious laughing he does, it must be forceful. It sound more forceful.
About as forced as Bernie Mac and Bay Farmers. God rest his soul.
I bet he want to cry too, laughing and crying.
Maybe that's why he was acting like such a diva on set. Maybe the sadness was being displayed through him being real diva and like, I am the Cat in the Hat. There's no... And I feel like most of the time. I'm not so good with the rhyming. No, I'm not.
Dr. Seuss's mascot, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's...
I have no words.
That's probably what he said at the that what he said in the movie was probably said at the focus groups. I'm a cat that can talk. That should be enough for you people.
I think one of the actors mentioned off screen he was antisocial towards everybody he worked with in the movie. That he just wanted to be to himself.
Probably.
And somewhat selfish.
Yeah. And this was the same guy that brought us the great 4 movies of Shrek.
Like, he should have just stick with Shrek and say no to the Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
But somebody in Hollywood will force him to do it. If he doesn't do it, he has to face a lawsuit.
Oh boy. So.
And that role was originally for Tim Allen, but he couldn't do it because he was busy doing the Santa Claus sequels.
It makes you wonder how. Oh wait, because, and I guess so I guess Mike Myers was more free because Shrek's role was voiceover.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow, probably Tim Allen probably. I'm not sure exactly how much better than Mike Myers it would have been, but I'm pretty sure Tim Allen probably would have at least been better on the set to work with at least.
Especially getting along with the children like he did in the Santa Claus movies.
Yeah, he would have probably brought that home improvement humor to it there. And another person who really would have probably done a really good job with Cat and probably would have even suggested a better costume would be Robin Williams.
Yes, I know he was still alive back in 2003. They could have just told him about the Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, because he would have gave us like the performances he gave with Aladdin and robots there. Like, he would have been like, "Hello, boys and girls. I am a cat, and I put my feet on the mat."
I know he would have more excitement.
Yeah, that. Especially with the songs and stuff there.
And everybody would like him more. And Dr. Seuss's widow would be more pleased with his performance.
Yep, he definitely goes, yeah. But nope.
We're not that fortunate.
Have to get Mike Myers.
Yeah.
And also speaking with the paranormal thing. Any of you that's seen the paranormal movies, and especially went up to the 6th movie where they showed this demonic entity before it got given a human form and all that, like when the camera panned over and imagine if they put the Mike Myers Cat in the Hat face on that entity in a ghostly form.
Don't get me started if he has fangs as well as foam coming out of the mouth like a ravaged animal.
Oh boy! Now I tell you, there is they do have a demonic picture of that cat. They didn't put the foam on his mouth, but they did have that, and I actually was able to bring that picture to the reaction video. It was like, help! Harold, Mike Myers is coming to... A furry Mike Myers is coming to get me! A furry Mike Myers is coming to get me! Or, there's no such thing as a furry Mike Myers. There's no such thing as a furry Mike Myers. Oh my God! Ah!
Now, this is the part where I scream and run for my life.
Scream and run.
And possibly drive away from that hideous cat.
You know, I'm kind of surprised that because of the previous Shrek movie that he didn't say something like, "Okay, this is the part where you run away." Ah! Yeah, but that would have been funny, but not enough to save the movie.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised he didn't do it.
I guess he hadn't thought about it. He's just sticking with some of the script, some of it. And the rest he just ad-lib on his own.
Yeah. And you know it's red. And here we go. I'm gonna mention the Grinch again, but how is it that your costume cat is scarier than the Grinch, who's supposed to be scary? The live action, and yes, he was. He was, but yet your costume comes out scarier looking than his. The Grinch.
I don't know if people dressed up like the live action cat in the Hat for Halloween when the movie came out. I mean, at the year after the movie came out.
Oh, I sure hope not there.
It's surprising that that movie came out on my birthday of 2003.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. But the good news is I didn't see it. I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
Well, you saved yourself a lot. You were very fortunate.
But I think I saw it for the first time years later.
Matter of fact, friend of ours, Nisha's seen this movie, thought it was the original Cat in the Hat animated feature, and when she saw Mike Myers pop up, no, 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 no. Almost like Reggie the Professor. Baby, no. Lord have mercy. So, okay, we mentioned about the rhyming there. I will think now there is. Now, of course, there always has to be something good about every movie, even the worst movies on the planet. Well, remember, sort of like how there was one good thing with Scooby-Doo, the characters dressed like they were supposed to look. With the Cat in the Hat, aside from the set designs, within the movie itself, there was one funny adult joke that, had this not been directed to kids, would have been a lot better. If this, was like, say, a different movie, for adults, if it didn't have Cat in the Hat on the title and it was just, something else completely. The cat walks over to where, humming. Oh, who is this? Oh. And he has this hat, his hat goes like, boing! And the kids are like, that's our mom. Awkward.
I think it's a subliminal hint that the cat must have looked at their mom naked, and the way his hat goes up and down, it looks like something is growing down there.
In another movie, that would have... Oh, yeah, the other thing that was probably being implied was actually the kids. The fact that she had kids. That this wasn't a single woman.
Oh.
This woman was not just, but that she had sort of like a joke in Are We There Yet with Ice Cube, when he was coming toward Nia Long, and all of a sudden her kids show up. Oh man, she a breeder. Oh boy.
Like she had those kids from a previous relationship.
Yeah. So yeah, Cat don't want to get in that.
Don't want to get involved.
Awkward.
If she was single, that would be a different story.
Oh boy. So the oh yeah, so with the music, they introduced then there's the fish character that came really late, because in the original the fish was already talking and already in the film, trying to tell the kids to get rid of the cat there. Here, he just pops up the minute the cat gets ready to sing his little musical. Stop right there! Me, the fish, remember?
I know it's the the fish from the original story sound more intelligent.
Yep, both the fish and even the cat.
Yeah,
That was
they were both intelligent characters in the book.
because the musical numbers in that movie were even starting to reminisce like a Charlie Brown kind of feel to it. You know, like remember when Charlie Brown and Linus were singing that song to prepare themselves for the spelling bee, the I before E, except after C, no, and I, and you, and O, and yeah, that I before E song.
Yeah.
And in the Cat in the Hat case in the cartoon, yeah, he had like these mathematical equations in the song and stuff like that, and in order to try to find, I think it was something he was looking for in the movie. But here in this one, well, you remember that fun song from SpongeBob? Yeah. Sorry, SpongeBob, but I think you're gonna slap your face when you hear this one. It goes with fun, fun, fun. Oh, look at me, fun, fun.
At least he rhymes better in the song version.
Yeah, I guess that's. Yeah, I only rhyme in songs. I don't talk and rhyme, even though that was kind of the thing with Seuss stories. Oh boy, the Grinch was a lot better at keeping true to Dr. Seuss. Oh boy. And of course you do have some scenes in here where they kind of slip. I think it was a deleted scene in that song where he almost said a swear, sort of similar to that Shrek song. Keep your feet off the ground. Wipe your face. No, is it?
Wipe your shoes.
Yeah, wipe your shoes. Wipe your face.
I know what they're trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Then of course, later after the song, you know, you had the scene with them baking the cupcakes, chopping the tail off, like, oh, I chopped it off, but so. They don't even censor it well.
And you could easily hear that.
Yeah, you see how I got cut off right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got. But yeah, he actually fills it out.
I know in real life he could have felt that once the axe first hit him, once the knife first hit him, he could have felt that sooner. Like
an actual cat, cause as we all know. You know how you ever been in a rocking chair near the cat?
Yes. They respond to pain quickly. Mm-hmm. And us humans, we can also respond to pain very quickly when it hits us.
Yeah, don't get me started with fire. Oh boy. Oh, so yeah, that was that, and also apparently as bad. You remember how I just compared? Said Imagine Cat in the Hat and Paranormal Activity?
Yeah.
Well, I'm more right than I thought, because he actually revealed that this version of Cat in the Hat revealed to be the devil.
By making the kids sign a contract?
It's called a contract.
If it was me as the kids, I would just say no. And get out.
Like they gotta say, get out! Get out!
But no, they had to sign it in order for a movie to happen.
And also we had to get this joke. Who are those guys? Magical time-traveling elves. Okay, seriously, they're my lawyers.
I don't know any Cat in the Hat in the book that have lawyers. He didn't have no lawyers in the book.
Well, after the making of this botched movie, I could tell that Zeus's widow probably got a hold of a lawyer in order to make them shut this down as far as doing any more live action movies.
Shut the production down?
Well, the production of any future live action movies, so
pertaining to Dr. Seuss.
So there must have been some type of form of law occurring for that to happen.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess no live action Lorax.
Well, we got the CGI Lorax. At least they did a better job with that.
That's it.
Lord have mercy. And yeah, so yeah, this, you know, even with the cat, yes, what one thing they did, there was a moral to the original story, was like, a little troublemaking is okay as long as it doesn't go too far. This simplified how the cat was a little mischievous, but he was still a good guy.
Not only goes too far, as long as nobody gets hurt.
Right, and he wasn't, and on top of that, he wasn't mean spirited there. But this one, oh dear God,
he was rude, obnoxious, and mean spirited.
This is pretty much a Saturday Night Live parody trying to be passed off as a movie, and frankly enough, they did make parodies of this movie, but that's the thing. The movie's already acting as a parody.
He started to make the animated kind of had look bad.
He's probably shaking his head if he sees it, sort of like how the Avatar was botched up.
Shaking his head and possibly crying.
Oh my goodness. I tell you, and I think there was one thing you mentioned about, you asked me about Bill Cosby in this there.
Yeah. About Bill Cosby, he would have been, if he was a bit younger, he would have been good for Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, but, however, considering, if the writing stayed the way it is, yeah. But with what we did get, he'd probably be bashing this movie on his stand-up comedy.
Don't get me started with if Eddie Murphy was the live-action Cat in the Hat. Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Eddie Murphy as the Cat in the Hat?
Yeah, he might have more energy.
I would hope. Probably there'd be a chance of a better movie with him.
Yeah. And he will follow the direction. And trying to keep it PG level.
Yeah, because he has played in PG movies there.
Yeah.
That were specifically directed to the kids there.
Yes. And he kept his performances kid friendly.
Well, there was only one thing that was uglier than the Cat in the Hat in this movie, and that was Thing 1 and 2.
Ew. I think, in my opinion, they look better. They look more better animated.
Yes, it's a proof that some things only work in animation.
Yes.
Or I put it this way: they could have made it. I think this is probably another reason why Dr. Seuss's wife canceled out future live action movies. Because with the CGI, yeah, you can make them look really look a lot like they're supposed to look, yeah, and sort of have a realistic feel to it. Maybe if they had maybe even with the live action character, you could keep them, but maybe if you had the Cat in the Hat and Thing 1 and 2 CGI, it would look a lot better, and they would be voiceover performances interacting with the kids. You have the guy with that CGI suit on, so you know where to put your CGI model at, and that probably could have worked and would have helped some there.
Make Thing 1 and Thing 2 CGI.
Thing 1 and possibly the cat himself.
All CGI the Cat in the Hat too.
Yep. Because they sure did not do that costume justice.
I know Mike Myers regret doing this film. And I don't blame him.
Well, I probably would regret that too if I was in a scene that involved me as a piñata, and then all of a sudden a bunch of kids hit me and I'm singing, "Easy, easy like Sunday morning." Or, don't get me started when there was one other scene, he picks up a rake and says, dirty hoe. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean that. I love you. He looked like he was going to
Make out with it.
until the kid said something.
Yeah. That's just nasty.
Really, Mike Myers?
Like, keep it PG. There's kids watching. Keep
You know,
it clean.
family picture. About this. But of course, isn't it? But of course, they're not going to do that. They're going to show more stuff. Like for instance, when they get ready to drive in his car, this is a lot better than the last one we had. The SHI, the super hydraulic instant transportator. Oh, you mean quick and slow?
I bet some kids might have figured out the abbreviation to that.
Obviously.
That they don't want. They may have slipped it in front of their parents.
Probably.
Accidentally.
Not to mention, they probably got this joke from The Simpsons. Speak and say.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
Some parents might catch on to this. Like, no.
Lord have mercy. So apparently, so then of course we got, okay, there's the driving scene, of course, where he says, "Let that 12-year-old drive." Then you got this party rave scene there that just comes out of nowhere.
Which I find is unnecessary, that they could have just took this scene out and just let them run all over town in general.
And on top of that, Alec Baldwin's chasing after them, and he gets his hat mixed up at the party, only to find out when they figure out how to get back home by, of course, tricking the thing, since they do the opposite of what they're told, and get back home. The cat apparently had his hat the whole time.
What?
The hat that's supposed to make him magical and all that. He lied to them. Oh, and also,
I bet he said that because he wanted to get back into that party. That's why. That's why he said that.
Or possibly torture Alec Baldwin.
Oh. Even though he did.
Yeah, and seeing if it wasn't for the fact if one thing we made when Alec Baldwin fell into the mother of all messes is that then he dies.
I guess it's like Dr. Seuss's version of hell.
Oh boy. Yeah,
but in a weird way with no fire.
Well, they do say it's eternal torture.
Wait, we did see fire in one scene on the toilet. On the toilet, there's fire there.
I am not using that toilet.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So, then of course he has to break the fourth wall to advertise Universal Studios. You mean this is far fun than an amusement park? You mean like it? Universal Studios. Ka-ching.
He's doing that for the money.
Well, at least they were honest about that. And then, of course, the house is destroyed and Alec Baldwin is spat out of the pipe.
And his entire body's covered in purple slime.
I did it! I did it! I did it!
You did by messing up the entire house while destroying everything.
Made it look like a twister come through that house.
I know in the original version he didn't destroy the house, he just made messes.
Right, he just, with stuff all over the floor and stuff.
But he did clean up for his messes. It's like owning up to your own mistakes.
And it was a lot easier to clean up because all he had to do was just pick the stuff off the floor, and even got the kids to do it with him.
Yeah, I know the kids were angry at him.
Yeah, I'd be angry too if he destroyed the house.
They did tell him to get out, but no, he went back in.
Because he had to put up this whole cleaning song number for the album. No, you think I'm exaggerating? No, he literally says that at the end of the song, we had to throw in a pop song for the album. That's very important.
Yeah. They could have just left him out. Just when after kids tell him to get out, he should just stay out and let just the kids accept their punishment.
Oh, but no, and the movie can't do like that. No, we gotta bring it back in, and suddenly everything's all right, and everything's all right, and now the cat turns out to be the one that was narrating the movie the whole time.
Yeah. Yay.
Oh boy. I've seen reviews of this movie previously, and they even regard more than one nostalgia critic, media hunter, I think El Ned did this movie.
Actually, he did the live action
Grinch. Okay.
I don't think he did the live action Cat in the Hat.
But I do think Blockbuster Buster did it though. The Cat in the Hat, different because he does blockbuster movies. Yeah. So yeah, but none of them. As much bad stuff as they said about that was in this movie, there was seeing it for yourself is still going to be the review is almost like a sugarcoat of the movie.
If you watch this entire movie by yourself or with someone, it's like the hour and a half of your life you cannot take back.
Nope.
The hour and a half of your life you cannot take back by watching this abomination. With all the adult jokes in this movie, they could just rate this PG-13. By the way it looks, like it should have been rated PG-13.
And also, if they were going to do that, don't market it as the official Cat in the Hat movie. It's just, market it as either something else or a parody.
Maybe a parody.
Yeah, like what Shrek did with the fairy tales. Yeah, because Shrek was meant to be a parody of the fairy tale, and I know many people say a parody of Disney, and okay, I guess maybe that might have been the intention, but from my point of view, I see it more, even with some of the hints that it is parodying Disney, that is more of a parody of just the fairy tales in general, because Lord knows Disney did not make movies of the Gingerbread Man. Right. So, yeah. So, yeah, Cat in the Hat. Pew! Right down in the mother of all messes, and it should stay there buried forever. Live action Mike Myers Cat in the Hat. Or maybe if this movie had came out just a few years earlier, this would have been this would have made good to be in that episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! When it was in the shadow game with Bakura. Well, I have no idea what you're talking about, so here it goes. Say goodbye to the Cat in the Hat.
And you got the movie poster.
Either the movie poster or if it was the actual Cat in the Hat on the field, and that would be revenge for destroying Tristan. And Joey slashes him. And he laughs before he's destroyed.
If kids want to know what the Cat in the Hat is, who is the Cat in the Hat, just read them the book version, because it's more memorable and also have heart to it, and do not tell them about the live action Cat in the Hat or show it to them.
Nope. And if you want to show them on TV, stick with the cartoon.
Yes.
The cartoon and the different cartoons that came after, like, the Cat versus the Grinch and stuff like that.
If they find out there was a live action Cat in the Hat when they're like older, like either teenagers or adults, be warned.
Stay away.
Yeah.
Avoid it like the plague.
Yeah, just avoid it
Get
if they
out.
found out on their own.
Matter of fact, if they see it in Walmart, there should be an employee that just comes up randomly. Get away from it. Get out. Get out. Get out.
I bet in some stores the live action Cat in the Hat movie is hard to find now. In some stores.
Yeah. I would say no. I ain't gonna say.
Okay, I understand.
I ain't gonna say because then because then somebody watch the video will go trying to look for it. Save, as Geppetto said about to Pinocchio, save yourself. Save yourself.
Just find a book, find a Cat in the Hat book, and read it.
Yep.
You get some memories there.
Yes, please do.
As well as the animated special.
Mm-hmm. It'll be a whole lot better.
Yeah.
And that should have gotten a theatrical release there.
Maybe one day in the future they might reboot the Cat in the Hat, but CGI and make it better.
Hopefully, yeah. If they do, hopefully, because I know Illuminate did a reboot with the Grinch movie, casting Doctor. I forget his name, but the guy who played Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Was the Grinch, and yeah, definitely should check that movie out because he did a really good Grinch. They even put elements of Doctor Strange in the movie. That was pretty neat.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, anything else on this abomination?
Well, hopefully they one of these days they will reboot the Cat in the Hat, but don't make it live action. Just keep it animated.
Yeah.
So kids will enjoy it,
And
especially future generations.
And you could do more with it.
Yes, and kids will talk about it.
Yep. Yep. As they say in search of what she said.
And I admit, after several viewings of the live action Cat in the Hat, I fell asleep on a few scenes because I was really tired.
He didn't pop up in your nightmares, did he?
No. If he did, I went to sleep for several days.
It's almost like when we both fell asleep to bad movies like After Earth. I'm sorry, Will Smith. You're good. You're a great actor, but that was not your movie. And also a movie I found. I just found laying around. In some it was just laying around. It wasn't even in a case. It was in some plastic bag. Hellboy.
Yeah, we both fell asleep on that.
Which of course was about trying to make a superhero demon or something like that. And, well, and of course, yeah, that's not a very not exactly my ideal of writing, but you would think that even if we didn't like the movie, that it would at least be somewhat, keep your attention. We fell asleep. How do you make a demon in general boring?
They also made a sequel as well as a reboot of this movie. I guess there are some fans out there who liked it.
Well, apparently they didn't like it after the reboot, because then it sank like Transformers The Last Night.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess people came to their senses.
Wow. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. I think we need to bring the train home.
Yeah.
We didn't talked about those. So, yeah. Bottom line, stay away from the live action Cat in the Hat.
If I had the physical copy, I would just bury it.
Or do like I did to Bad Grandpa, where I smashed it with a hammer.
Or burn it. Maybe just burn it.
Only if you're in the forest.
Oh, and make
well, not for maybe somewhere where you can set the fire and it don't catch on to nothing.
Yeah, it could make a great campfire.
That would work.
And we could roast marshmallows with it and make s'mores.
So we use bad movies instead of firewood.
Yeah.
Alright, well that's all we got to say on that, and also the little rambling we just did, and hope y'all like it there. If definitely hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out some of the other videos. Definitely buy some comic books, including her new issue, Bubbling issue 4, which was advertised in previous videos. It's on this channel. Previous ad where she explained what it was about. As well as also our other comic books, and support us on Patreon. Also, and also, yeah, see behind me, the toys are organized. So, yeah, yeah, definitely also check out the toy reviews as well, and more of these videos we'll have coming in the future of our Royal Talk. Until then, we'll see you later.
Bye, everyone.